Okay, this is the third video segment. We're going to do problem number for homework 9, I believe this is. We're going to do number 48, which says that secant is 5 and sine theta is negative. Now, the very fact that sine of theta is negative means that you're either in this quadrant, in quadrant uh, 3 or 4. And the fact that cosine is positive, secant is positive, or cosine is positive means that you're either in quadrant 1 or 4. Because both of these are holding, then the only place that's common between them is quadrant 4. So we are solving this problem under the assumption that secant of theta is equal to 5, and we are in quadrant 4. Okay, so let's go and work it out. Cosine of theta is 1 over secant is immediately 1 over 5. That's done. Sine of theta is equal to plus or minus square root of 1 minus cosine squared theta, which means plus or minus square root of 1 minus 1 over 5 squared. That means plus or minus square root of 24 over 25 over 5. Okay, over 5. Now it is true that 24, root of 24, you can, if you want, write it as 2 root 6, but that's not the issue here. So we are in quadrant 4, and sine is negative. Quadrant 4 means sine of theta is negative, and therefore you have to pick the negative value, 24 over 5. That takes care of this. And right away, cosecant of theta, which is 1 over sine, is just a flipped version of this, minus 5 over root 24. All right, what else? We have to do the tangent and cotangent. Tangent of theta is going to be sine theta over cos theta. We already got these values, so sine of theta was over here, minus root of 24 over 5. And cosine, we got it as 1 over 5. And this is going to be minus root of 24. Okay? And cotangent of theta is, of course, 1 over sine. That takes care of this, by the way. Cotangent of theta is 1 over tangent of theta, which is minus 1 over root 24. That takes care of this. Let's go to number 49. 49, cosecant of theta equal to 2, and we are in quadrant 1. Quadrant 1. Okay, so cosecant, immediately sine of theta is going to be 1 over cosecant of theta. It's going to be 1/2. That takes care of this. Now, by the way, I can do the problem from this point on, realizing that theta must be pi over 3. I can proceed knowing that theta must be pi over 6. Okay, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pretend that I don't know this. Okay, so we have cos theta equal to plus or minus square root of 1 minus 1/2 squared, and this is going to be plus or minus root 3 over 2. But we are in quadrant 1, cosine is positive, so cosine of theta is root 3 over 2. Let's see what else we have here. We have secant of theta, immediately 1 over cosine of theta, which is 2 over root 3. Okay, that takes care of this. And that was sine, cosecant was given to us. Tangent of theta equal to sine theta over cos theta. Sine theta, we got this thing as 1/2 over root 3 over 2, and tangent of theta is 1 over root 3, or by the way, root 3 over 3. And finally, cotangent of theta is 1 over tangent of theta, which is root 3. Okay. Now, had I used the fact theta equal to pi over 6, I would have come with exactly the same answer. Okay, so let's go to 53. These are very simple problems. Let me change the color here. I'll use go green. Okay, good. So it says that if theta equal to, this is 53, if theta equal to pi over 3, find some of these things. So sine of 2 theta is sine of 2 pi over 3. And if you go to the trig circle, you see pi over 3 is here. Draw that. Pi over 3 is here. 2 pi over 3 is there. They have the same sign, okay? So this is the same thing as sine of pi over 3. So this is going to be uh, root 3 over 2. Okay, what do we have here? 2 sine of theta, on the other hand, is 2 sine of pi over 3. It's going to be 2 times root 3 over 2 and root 3. The purpose of this exercise is for you to understand that you can't just take the 2 out and pretend that you get the answer. That is not the case. This was A. Let's do B. Sine of 1/2 of theta. This means sine of pi over 1/2 of pi over 3, which is pi over 6. And this is 1/2. And 1/2 of sine of theta is 1/2 of sine of pi over 3, which is 1/2 of root 3 over 2 and root 3 over 4. Once again, the whole purpose of this exercise, don't bring that to 1/2 out. This is not a linear function that you can do that. C, sine squared theta is sine of, that means sine of theta squared, that's what it means. That means sine of pi over 3 quantity squared, or root 3 over 2 squared, or 3 over 4. And sine of theta squared, it means sine of pi over 3 quantity squared, and this means sine of pi squared over 9. And we don't have, this is not one of our standard angle, so the only way is to figure it out with calculator, okay? And let me go ahead and do this thing with calculator. It's a good idea to use the calculator every once in a while. So sine of pi squared over 4, pi squared over 9, it's not a 4, it's a 9, okay? So where's my calculator here? I think it's this. No, cancel that. Back. Free version. Oh. Okay, so let me clear everything here. Make sure clear everything. Clear everything. Okay, good. Let's see, check my mode. I want to make sure it's on radian angle. This is on degrees right now, so let me turn it to radians. Okay, good. It is on radian now. Check it again. No. There. There. Yeah, it is on radian right now. All right, so let's go ahead to our sine of parentheses pi squared. There's the pi squared divided by 9 and 0.8896. So this would have been 0.8896 rounded to the fourth decimal. All right, so that takes care of this problem. Now, as for number 54, 54, it says find the area of a triangle with sides of length 7, 9. So let me draw something here for now. 7, maybe 9, and the angle between them, and they include an angle of 72 degrees. 72 degrees, okay? So what you want to do is find the area of this. Let me go ahead back to our lecture, to our textbook, or find out exactly what the formula was that they provided to us there. So let me see, mu, Stewart, this is section 3 point, I think it's 3.3. And if you scroll down here to see what they gave us about the uh, area, page down. Okay, so there's a situation. They said that if you have two sides, any two sides, and the angle between them, the area of that triangle is 1/2 the product of the sine of the angle between them. So let's go back here. This is not enough memory on display to display or print. Okay, let's get rid of this, get rid of this. All right, so area is equal to 1/2. Remember, it was A, B, sine of the angle between. So it's going to be 1/2, 7 times 9 times sine of the angle between them, 72 degrees. Now, if I'm going to do this thing with my calculator, I better make sure that the angle is radian is taken off. Mode. Uh, it's in degrees right now. And what I always do is, if I'm not quite sure, I always say sine of, for example, I don't know, sine of 90 degrees. If I don't get 1, means that I did not actually change my mode. 90 degrees better be 1. Yes, good. So it's going to be 1/2. So 0.5. The area is going to be 0.5 times a 9 times a 7. 7. Oh, sorry. This is times 7 times a 9 times sine of 72 degrees. And the area is 29.958. This is 29.958 round to the third decimal. Okay, let's next one. This is number 55, and 10 is the triangle sizes are the edges are 10, 22, and the angle is 10 degrees. This angle is supposed to be 10 degrees. So we go 1/2, 10, 22, sine of 10 degrees. Okay, so let's do it here. Obviously, it's going to be zero point 0.5 with my calculator. Oh, I don't know what happened to my calculator. That must have been the message that it was giving me about not enough space. Okay, so let's do this thing. This is a 5 times 22 is 110. Sine of 10 degrees. Now I'm going to use my calculator, physical calculator, to get that, which is on my phone, by the way. Okay, so here the mode is put in degrees, already on degrees, good. So it's going to be 110 times sine, where's the sine? Sine of 10 degrees. And the answer that I'm getting is 19.101 rounded to third decimal point. Okay, so we are left with these two word problems that we can do. Let's try it. We can finish it here. Where are my problems? Right there. Word problems, rain gutter problem. Uh, you know what? I think I better stop this because it looks like I have some memory issues here. I'll do a fourth one for the word problem.